Welcome to Sustain This, a podcast where we discuss mindful consumption, personal style, and the quest for living a more intentional life. I'm Alyssa, a sustainable stylist.
And I'm Christina, a shopaholic turned minimalist-ish.
And I'm Sina, a color consultant and slow fashion style coach.
Together, we will unpack the nuances of what it really means to be a conscious consumer and find more joy in what we have right now. So grab your tea, your coffee, or whatever floats your boat and join us in the conversation. Let's go! Yay! Yay! Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode. It's
Happy
that time of year.
New Year.
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
That's right.
Wow. 2025, we made it.
2020.
Magical time travel here.
Yeah.
Magical time travel. That is right. I was just gonna say, like, it's that time of year. It's a whole new year.
That's right.
So yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for we hope you all had a good break. And at the top of every year, we like to do this. We did this last year, where we reflect on how the year went, our style choices. We made goals at the beginning of 2024. Some stuff, or we talked about how, like, we don't love calling them goals. We like setting style intentions.
Oh yeah.
And we want to kind of see how those went, or just reflect on our past year and see how we can improve going forward. So hopefully this inspires you to take a little moment to reflect, and not to be hard on ourselves, not to be judgy or anything like that, but just always be looking to how we can improve our relationship with fashion and keep it healthy and fun and conscious. So what I don't know, I guess I can
I'm
go
trying to find my
first.
old ones from 2024.
I know, me too.
I'm looking in my notes.
I was like, my style intentions. What were my style intentions? I know I wrote them down, but probably in my notes app, which is, like I was going to say, now gone on my phone. So I'll go first. If I reflect back on the year that passed, it was quite the whirlwind. I think secondhand first was definitely one of my intentions, and I think I kept it, especially when I was traveling. I got a lot of secondhand first, but if I look back on my closet, I definitely have more clothes than what I would like. And that what past Alyssa would have wanted. So the reflection there, I think, is perhaps to be more discerning in the clothes that I take on for my work. In terms of taking fewer clothes from friends and family, I think that was actually good. I've been wearing Christina's jeans nonstop. So
Yay.
that's
the whole goal of decluttering right there.
Exactly. Yeah. So that you know it's going to a good home. So so that being said, like, there's duality in everything, right?
Yes.
So perhaps it's just being more discerning. So I'm going to be thinking about that moving forward in 2025. And I think, you know what? This is, like, maybe a little bit of a frivolous one, but I need to sort out my shoe collection, because I think I have a lot of...
That's not frivolous.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's not. It's like, it's because I've noticed that a lot of my shoes are heels, and I don't have a lot of good flat options that I really love. And I think that is unhelpful to me. So that's more of a stylistic intention, let's say. I'll probably have more reflections and things as we talk, because I always get inspired by both of you. So tell me, what are your thoughts on the past year and on what you think going forward?
Yeah, I think this year I had a lot of style intentions in 2024, and I think I hit a lot of them, but also there's definitely ones that I want to improve upon. The main one that I really want to focus on in 2025 is shopping in person. Like, I want to see if I can almost completely eliminate any online shopping, because I just find that it's kind of like a connection to dopamine and fixating on a product and things like that. I really noticed a lot of, if I found something that I really wanted or that I had my eye on. I did do a lot of secondhand shopping this year, which is really, really great, because I am definitely more of a firsthand shopper. But I've definitely been able to shift to more secondhand through, like, Vestiaire, The Real, Poshmark, things like that. So that feels really good, and I really love that. I can see how people almost primarily have the majority of their wardrobes as secondhand, and I think, like, now I'm starting to see how that's possible. I think I would love to sort of shift that even secondhand shopping because the way I secondhand shop now is like I have something in mind from like a specific brand, a very specific piece, and I'll just kind of pop in and out searching for it, and eventually it kind of comes up, and when it does, then that's when I'll buy it. Being able to, thrift and find those pieces in person entirely from like a charity shop or like a Value Village or local shops here in Toronto. I would really like to do that more because one is that it keeps the idea of shopping as more of a leisure thing rather than doing it out of boredom or out of anxiety or out of a cope. Because I still find sometimes I will turn to shopping to like alleviate boredom and to get the dopamine and all of that kind of thing. And I think when you do it in person, it just becomes more of an event. It becomes like, hey Jeff, let's spend the day together and then we'll go get a coffee and then we'll go check out these shops and walk around and try things on. And it becomes just more of a day, more of a memorable thing. And I really want to kind of create that association. And also the main thing is that it creates like I have to plan around it versus online shopping, which feels a lot more passive to me and it's easier to do. So I think a lot of the times in 2024 we talked about choosing hard. So I think shifting my behavior to in person, I think it's going to significantly cut down the amount that I shop, which I
Big
want to do.
time.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of the things that I learned this year was definitely, and I think I maybe even learned that, last time I was pregnant, but this was the year I came to think about why that is. And that's not to make any rushed decisions about your style when your life is like all over the place or when you
Yeah.
are in the middle of like big life changes, whether that being pregnancy or a move or anything that's kind of like disturbing your regular day to day. And this comes from me looking back at, again, postpartum last time. I decided I wanted a fringe, which, at the time I thought, I don't have any time for myself in the morning. I don't have any energy to get ready. And I wanted something, I wanted to look like one of those like cute French girls with their sweeping fringe and like super effortless. And I just didn't take into account that actually having a fringe comes with a lot of invisible labor. Like you have to
Yeah.
blow dry it, you have to wash it, not to mention just the feeling of having hair stuck to your
Oh,
face
yeah.
all day long. It was like, this doesn't work for me. Like I clipped it back all the time because I couldn't stand the feeling of having it like on my face all day long. So it ended up just looking really weird and not at all like that cute. I just roll out of that French hairstyle that I thought it was going to
Yeah.
look like. So I don't think I regret getting, changing my hair, but looking back, I think, it didn't take long before I decided to just grow it out again and like go back to my old hairstyle. So I think that's one of the major things that I learned this year or became aware of this year, and that I reminded myself going through pregnancy, to not make any major hair changes or style changes or base too much on my current situation, because I know it's
Yeah.
temporary and I know things are going to kind of fall back into place. It just needs time and grace and, you know. And then I think also just doing the regular wardrobe edits that we've talked about in a recent episode. I think the episode where we talked about being in a style rut, I think just that whole thing of allowing myself almost to just do a wardrobe edit as often as I wanted to, especially when your life is chaotic. Because my wardrobe my wardrobe is my creative outlet. And if that doesn't feel right, then, it might sound a little bit deep to say that, but it's like
No,
anything doesn't feel right. Like nothing feels right when your wardrobe is all over the place. So the
100%.
regular wardrobe edits, I think, is something I'm going to take with me moving forward as well.
Yes.
So that's definitely like the style lessons I learned this year. And then if we're looking at style goals or intentions, I think just getting dressed more. I think that was on the
Yeah.
top of my list last year as well. Just get dressed, wear clothes, the clothes that I already
Love
have.
that.
be more like unapologetic, not in the sense of wearing a ball gown every day, because obviously that's not life, but it
Hmm.
takes some more chances, even if it's just like one item that feels a little bit more dressy than would perhaps be socially acceptable for that situation. I really want to like get more into that because I like the idea of wearing slightly dressier pieces with casual ones from time to time.
Hmm.
And I think then finally just really gracefully enter this new chapter of my life, like a new chapter of motherhood, take it slow, find a new balance between style and functionality is also really high up on my list.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So a lot of things like evolving around life changes for me, I think.
Yeah, I
That's
love that.
Yeah.
very wise.
Because you're
There were
going
some
through
really
them.
good points.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah,
having them right now. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Mhm. That
Yeah.
was an excellent point. That
Alyssa, I'm
made me
interested
think.
in
Oh yeah,
hearing,
go ahead.
yeah, like sorry, yeah, I just wanted
No, no,
to
go ahead.
ask like with your move and everything.
Yeah.
If
Right.
you want I don't know if you want to
Right.
like talk about it now because obviously we're in the
Yes, that's
past
right. We're
when
in the
we're
future. Right. Assuming I'm in Italy. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I think Sina, your point really hit home because I feel like my life has like it's finally coming out of that stage of transition. So you really got me thinking like, oh shit, should I just like what have I like just ignore everything I've been doing for the past 2 years? Okay, everyone? Like I don't know. I don't know what I've been saying.
What?
But no, I'm just kidding. I've learned a lot. But like it's true, like you're so right. And I'm trying to think of the decisions that I've been making style-wise through this transition period, you know, moving from traveling and getting a divorce and getting my own place for the first time and figuring out who I am as a single person for the first time uh, and now moving to another country again. So I also think there's a lot of learning and growth through these transition periods. And so that brought me to two additional, like one reflection and one intention. I don't think they're really related. But the reflection was definitely that I have been spending a lot more time learning about myself and experimenting or like having my clothing be a representation of that learning, like that self discovery. So perhaps it's been less about like stylistic learnings on that end and just more about like, okay, what are my values? Who am I? What do I like? Like I've never asked those questions of myself before.
Mm,
Um, so through transition periods, I guess that just got me thinking about that. The big moments of experimentation, but then equal amounts of learning about who you are. And I think ultimately learning about who you are and knowing who you are inform your style so much. Um, so then the intention that I have for another intention that I'd like to really stick with for 2025, even if it's tiny, is like a bit more of a routine in terms of my style. So making things like even clothing maintenance, I'd like to
mm,
make it more regular. Like
Mm.
life has been so in flux that like I don't even eat like well, maybe I'm being dramatic, but like when you don't have a routine in general, everything just kind of goes to shit.
Mhm.
And I think it's the same thing with our closets. I noticed that. And so even if it's like doing laundry same time every week and like or even if it's like establishing like my laundry like I've been doing that recently, like establishing a laundry routine so that the clothes don't just stay clean on the bed, they actually like process A to B,
Land
A
into
to
the
Z.
closet again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they make it back into the closet.
Yeah.
So even if it's these tiny habits, um that's what I'm looking forward to building. And also that kind of extends into my personal life too, like getting back into like a morning routine and an evening
mm.
routine. Like I was the queen of being having a disciplined routine when I was married, and I think routines keep you grounded.
They
Yeah.
do.
And the more grounded you are, and I think that applies to your closet too. The more
Mm,
grounded you are in your style routines and your habits, the easier it is to dress in an authentic way. and make smarter shopping decisions. So
Yeah, you're so right.
please
Yeah.
ignore what I said about don't listen to me for the past 2 years, okay? That was not true. I think I gave some very good advice in my content
did,
over the past
yes.
2 years, okay?
Yeah.
Always learn something from you. Don't worry.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Yeah, I think I also just wanted to add like the reason why I feel like it's not the best time to make like big decisions when you're in the middle of like chaos is also because you like similar to what you just described, Alyssa, you feel like a stranger to yourself already. There's
Yes.
no reason to add extra layers on top of that. Just with the fringe again, being
Right.
the example, like I would walk past the mirror and a fringe changes your face so much. I don't think it suited
Yeah.
me either now when I look back, and
I
it's
think
like,
everything suits you, but I
who
get
Yeah,
am
you
I?
look great
Oh,
though.
yes.
it.
But it's like, who am I? Like, I was trying to figure out who am I as a mother, like a new mom? What is this life? What's going on? Is this going to be my life forever now? And what's going
Mhm.
on? And then adding a fringe, which sounds so frivolous, but it's not. It's not just hair, you know?
Oh yeah, because you don't feel like yourself. Like it's
Exactly.
and then you have to learn how to style it and figure it out. Yeah, and get
Yeah.
used to your seeing yourself that way.
Yeah.
So it's no, it's
It
a
just
huge
added an
change.
extra unnecessary layer of confusion to everything. What
Yeah.
I really needed to do was just ground myself into some version of myself that was, okay, this is it. Like at least I still have this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you happy you did it though? Because now you know.
I mean, yeah, it is just hair and it grows back out, luckily. And yeah, I guess in that sense, I learned something, which is always valuable. So yeah.
One other goal I have for myself is it's actually nothing to do with clothes, but more to do with
Ooh.
my makeup and skincare. So
Oh, I love these.
one of the things that I have been so I don't receive a lot of PR and I don't really buy a lot of makeup or skincare, but I still feel like I have way more than anybody needs. And any, like, for example, PR that I do get, I feel like brands are getting much better at not sending you a ton of stuff. Like they'll send you maybe one or two things. And so when those things come, I'm like, oh, great, cool. And then, but it still accumulates because I feel like it takes so long to go through stuff. And I do declutter it and give it to friends, family, people at work, things like that. But out of the things I do decide to keep, I want to do a project pan. Like I don't want to buy any more new blush, bronzer, makeup until I've hit pan on, like, until I use it up. Okay. Like,
Yes. Did
so
you just make a reel about like declutter, but
yeah,
in a way
declutter
where you
through
use, yeah,
exactly.
through the, I love that
Declutter
idea.
by, so
Using up
there's
the products.
decluttering by giving things away, by throwing things away if that's appropriate, by donating, but you can also, especially when it comes to like personal care, makeup, hygiene products, declutter by using it up.
I love that.
So that's kind of like my goal for 2025 is, like, I'm just thinking, reflecting on it. Have you ever gone through a whole tube of lipstick in your life?
Yes,
I
it
have
goes
not.
down my
I have
face. I don't know.
I have a
But I'm
Mac.
not a makeup person.
I
Tell
know.
me.
That's what I mean. Like I barely
Yeah.
am too. That's why I'm like I have so
Okay.
much more than I need. And
Okay.
Yeah.
you definitely get into like different moods with makeup. Like maybe right now I'm really into this blush by this brand, but then next month I want to do it like a cream blush instead, So I'm fine with the makeup and the skincare that I do have, but I want to use it up. I want to go through it. And so yeah, I'm more of a using up use decluttering through using up what you have. So it's kind of like I'm doing a project pan. I've never used up like a full makeup product, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I just
I think
that's one thing I really
many of
want to
us
work
can
on.
relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I love
basically
that.
at that point it's like going through all that stuff too. It's like you kind of narrow down what it is you really like and like what your favorites are and kind of what your makeup capsule is. And I think I kind of have that nailed down with my skincare, but with my makeup, there's always that temptation to, I was like, oh, I want to try this and I want to, and so I feel like it's a little easier to get away from you and I just want to use it up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's
that's
going
a
to take
great one.
years. That will take years.
That's great. You have like you have a lot to choose from then. Do you feel like you'll have enough choice? Like if you want to create, are you someone who likes creating different makeup looks?
No.
Not really. Okay, great. So this is
It's
going to
more
be really
like,
good.
yeah, like maybe one day I'll do like a red blush instead of a pink blush,
Okay.
But I have like two eyeshadows And the
Great.
only thing I can see myself really using up is eyebrow gel and
Mm.
mascara
Mascara.
Yes. Same.
and like lip
Yeah.
gloss. That's it.
Blushes. Like cream
Yeah,
blushes
yeah.
too
Cream
sometimes.
blushes. Yeah.
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 Mm,
That's about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's cool.
I've just been recreating outfits. And I feel like honestly, it's I've been saying it for years, and it's easier to say than to do because you have to remind yourself when you're in it. But it's like as soon as you feel tempted for something or there's something that you want, you have to go to your closet. You just like you have to get up, break that cycle, and just be like, look at all this great stuff that I have.
Yeah.
And I think what I want to focus on too is just trusting in my own taste a little bit more. So I think it's so easy, and the way we're fed media in general is to create wants and to create this sense of lack, and to even not even a sense of lack, but almost if you shift it more into a positive, it's like, oh, this would be so great. My wardrobe would be so great with this in it, but it still makes me forget about what I already have
Yeah.
and how I have enough. And every time I do a video recreating outfits or like anything like a styling video, it turns into a clothing tornado in my apartment that I have to clean up after. And that's when it really reminds me of like, oh, girl, you've got a lot of great stuff. Just rock it. So maybe a project pan for my wardrobe too. Just shopping less in general, because again, it kind of goes back to the thing is too, is like when I see it online, it creates this fixation and I can't get it out of my head until I buy it kind of thing. Versus if I'm out in person, and what in person does is it gives me that tactile, it gives that sense, it gives the sense of touch, right? And being able to feel the quality and to even like, this is going to sound gross, but if you're thrifting, like to smell the garment, does it, because sometimes like, you know, it could be musty or it smells like mold or cigarettes or something, right? Like, so there's other factors that I think I need in order to walk away from something, but also to get that little bit of kind of satisfaction from the act of shopping itself. So it's kind of separating liking the item versus having to own it.
I think it also, you're also taking the item out of context, right? Like when you see an item online, it's being styled the right way, it's being surrounded by other cool things, it's in a cool location, it's making you want, you know, more than just the garment itself. So when you're actually looking at the garment in person on a rack, it's just a thing on a hanger.
Yes.
You know, so you're really taking it out of
Context.
you're taking it out of a context that is a lot more helpful for you to say no to it.
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah,
shopping
that's a great way to put
in
it.
person.
And again, it's
Yeah.
not always about saying no to yourself, but I feel like if everything is a yes, then it's going to be really hard to know what's truly good, you know?
Yeah.
And it gives
It's
you
like in
more
life.
work too. It's,
Yeah.
you know, if you bring in too much stuff, it gives you more work than what
It
you
does.
probably
Yeah,
want.
yeah, exactly. We've talked about the
Mhm.
the burden of buying something beyond just the financial aspect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Do you want to talk about if you have anything on your wish list for next year?
Ooh. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Let me look. Oh, the notes. Can I just say the Apple Notes app is the most underrated app in all of life. That's all I'm going to say.
It is good.
It's the best app ever. I lost. Oh no, it's in my index now, my shopping
Wait, are you being
list. Thank
sarcastic?
God. No, I'm being so serious.
I thought you just lost everything on there.
I did, but that's why it's so because it's amazing. It keeps all your things.
Oh, I
So
see.
when you lose it, it's really bad. Okay, wait. No, I have my shopping list on my index now, so this is great. I'm good. Okay, I'm ready.
I mean, I have a few things on my wish list, but they're more, again, they're trying to play on the style and functionality piece for me because I know it's going to be such a huge part of my life. It already is, and I know it's going to keep evolving like that way, having small kids especially. So something like just, you know, I want a pair of sneakers in a fun color. So it's like little things like that. Like I have a pair of they're navy blue. I don't know if it's the specials. It's a pair of Adidas shoes in like navy with light blue stripes and then
Cute.
like a gum sole. Just something to add a bit of a pop of color to my outfits, and still like implement something a little bit more cheerful and I guess also a stylish element, because
Mhm.
I've always been a fan of a plain white sneaker because it goes with anything, but something, that can also boost your mood a little bit because it's a fun color,
Yeah.
or even a colorful sock. And I'm not talking like super like bright colors or anything, but just, a burgundy sock so that I can wear those with my burgundy bag or, something like that. Like those small little style touches is that's something I have on my, it's more
Mhm.
things like that I would say I have on my wish list. But otherwise I completely relate to what you say,
Yeah.
Christina, that it's definitely more about like just getting dressed. And I think, yeah, the whole maybe I don't want to see, be more unapologetic in using my clothes and not being so afraid of using my clothes is
Yeah.
something I also want to explore more. Especially like that whole I'm afraid to ruin the piece or I'm afraid to get stains on this piece. Well, just wear it, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I like it's clothes are meant to be worn, not
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
How about you, Alyssa? Do you have anything on your wish list?
Yeah, my baseball hat's getting really, really old, so I know I need a new one for sure.
Um,
And I found one that I really like. It's very cute.
what does it
So
say? Yours
that's on
has like a
there.
quote
plants
on
or
it, right?
something.
Pardon?
That your cap has
Yeah, it
like a
says
little.
plant.
Oh,
It
so
says
see, I
plant on it.
remember. So cute.
Yeah. I'll keep wearing it though. Like I love that hat and it actually started to have like a little bit of a frayed edge on it and I remember seeing that and being like, yes, like
Yeah.
yeah, like this
You've
is a
Kind of
added
like
fun
the
hippie
you've
hat
added the
fan.
wear.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is my
Kind of like
hat.
hitting
Like
pan. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
and I love it. So it actually makes me want to wear it more. But I do I do think like I've had that hat for years and I wear it all the time. So I think um getting another hat would be good. It's like proven its test.
Mhm.
So I that's on my list. It's interesting. Like I'm looking at it now. The pieces are normally pretty pragmatic, like things that I really like. I have a multiple. I don't know if we've spoken about multiples, and multiples are so interesting. I
Yeah,
have
I need
this,
to not
right?
buy more of those.
Of the
Same
same.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a really interesting uh yeah, I have a really great merino COS shirt with the thumb holes and I'm obsessed with it. I love it. And I have a cream or like a white one on my list. And normally I don't buy multiples, but that one's on my list. And it's there because I want to be able to find it secondhand. Like I don't need it. It's not necessary. I don't it's literally so like a lot of these things are just very boring. So there's that. And then just like that's my list.
Yeah.
And then a V-neck, a long sleeved V-neck bodysuit because I really love again, I love the black V, but I like the super fitted silhouette. I like the V, it's dramatic. That's lasted a whole bunch of wish list edits. And navy blue fisherman jumper. I found one secondhand. But again, like
Oh,
I look at my list and like these things are great, but like I don't need them. They're just fun to be on there, It's like,
Oh
oh, this is
yeah.
cute,
Yeah.
mm.
Like
Yeah.
I don't whatever. And then there's this really cool like baby blue bustier. It's like denim.
Oh,
Oh, that's so
I
you.
real right?
Yeah.
And I realized like I think bustiers are a thing.
For
Like I
you.
love that for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very expensive. And again, I don't need it. Like I wear like my black bustier is amazing. Like it serves all my needs. Um and I recently bought a cream bustier secondhand, which I've already worn a few times. So it's the bustier is proving to be like a solid for me.
Yeah, it's a fundamental. It's
It's
a woof for you without fail.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So I'm gonna but like for example, I'm gonna let this one sit on there for probably like another 2-3 years before I buy it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my list.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun though to
I
see.
think I was just thinking like as you were saying all of that and as we talked about the project pan and
Mm.
I just want to like I feel one thing I'm reflecting I feel very I feel very settled in my closet right now. Like I really like everything. I feel like I've got my basics. I've got some duplicates of some basics, like when it comes to t-shirts, etc. I've got a lot of different fits and cuts and colors. I have a lot of blazers that I love. I have a lot of really cool shoes. Like I'm thinking about my wardrobe and I'm like, oh, I fucking love it. Like it's so
That's
good.
great.
So I just want to like just project cost per wear, project cost per use. I feel like that's kind of my focus this year because again, like if there's a feeling of wanting, and I think that's fine, but I always am reminded of what I've got when I start actually playing with my closet and seeing the pile and then having to put it away. And then I think in terms of anything I do add, I just really want to make sure it's something that is different. Like this serves a specific role in the closet that I don't have anything like it, which is kind of hard to nail right now. I can't think of anything unless I add like a fluffy like mob wife coat or something into the mix or something, which is cool. Like that would, but it's got to be like really unique at this point.
I think you'll see your style really like take off now. Like you've always had really good style, but I think you'll find, remember we talked about last year, we talked about like the sauce and you were like, I don't think I have the sauce. I think you're like really close, and I think the more you do this project, I think you're gonna really, really like sit into your style and just like kill it all the time.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, like I think, like I said, I think you already know, I think you already have it, but like I think you're really gonna just
Thank you.
Well, I think we learned a lot. This was really fun to reflect and set intentions. And if you do the same, maybe you already have, let us know in the comments below, like what your intentions are and what you've been reflecting on for the past year. We always love to hear from you over on YouTube. And if not on YouTube, you can always find us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. And always in the community. We offer exclusive content monthly. We do a monthly AMA, so it's a really great way to just get involved, get engaged, support our work. We're so, so grateful for you. And we will see you in the next one. Ciao.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. God damn it.
Season 3. Whoa.
Oh my God. Crazy. That's right. Yay us.
Yay. Okay. Bye.
Thanks for being here. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining in our conversation this week. If you're enjoying the show, we'd love it if you subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple and leave us a rating and review. It's one of the best ways to support the Sustain This podcast at zero cost to you.
We're also a community-led podcast, so if you have any questions for us, topic requests, or even guests you want to hear from, please send us a DM on Instagram at sustainthis_podcast. We read all of our comments and look forward to hearing from you.
We hope you join us again next Tuesday, where we'll talk about so much more than clothes. Ciao!